Why is it that the most brilliant minds on this planet, the ones capable of rewriting the laws of physics or painting masterpieces that endure for centuries, are often the same people who find themselves staring at a blank wall for 6 hours straight while a deadline screams in the background? You have probably felt this yourself. You have a vision. You have the talent. You have a goal so big it makes your heart race just thinking about it. But when the time comes to actually sit down and do the work, something strange happens. Your hands feel heavy. Your brain suddenly decides that researching the history of the stapler is more important than your career-defining project. You feel like a high-performance sports car with the engine roaring at 10,000 RPM, yet the wheels are locked tight in the mud. Recent studies suggest that up to 85% of people with high intellectual potential struggle with chronic procrastination. But here is the secret that will change how you look at yourself forever. It is not because you are lazy. It is not because you lack discipline or because you do not care enough. In fact, it is the exact opposite. You are procrastinating because you care too much. You are suffering from a high-functioning neurological glitch known as the Perfectionist Trap. In the next few minutes, we are going to go inside the crime scene of your mind. We are going to investigate why your brain treats your own ambitions as a life-threatening predator. We will uncover the hidden mechanism of the Amygdala Hijack that freezes your potential in its tracks. Most importantly, I am going to show you how the most successful people in history turned this paralyzing fear into a creative superpower. By the end of this video, you will not just understand why you wait until the last minute, you will finally have the key to unlock the cage and let your genius run free. If you have ever looked at your unfinished dreams and wondered what is wrong with you, pay very close attention. The answer is not what you think. Let us begin. To understand why your brain is working against you, we first have to look at the evidence left behind at the scene of the crime. Think about the last time you had a truly massive idea. Maybe it was a book you wanted to write, a business you wanted to start, or a piece of art that felt like it could change the world. In that moment of conception, your brain was flooded with dopamine. You felt the rush of possibility. You could see the finish line, the applause, and the success. But then the next morning arrived. You sat down at your desk. You opened a blank document, and suddenly the air in the room felt heavy. The cursor on the screen blinked like a mocking heartbeat. Every second that passed without you typing a word felt like a physical weight pressing on your chest. This is where most people make their first mistake in the investigation. They look at this scene and they call it laziness. But laziness is a lack of desire. Laziness is when you do not care about the outcome. What you are feeling is the exact opposite of laziness. It is an intense, overwhelming fear of not being good enough. Let us break down the suspects in your mind using the 3-type funnel. Type 1 is what we call the surface procrastinator. This is the person who larks around because they want a quick hit of dopamine from a video game or a snack. They lack self-control and their goals are usually small. But if you are someone with high potential, type 1 is rarely your problem. You are likely stuck in type 2, the paralyzed genius. This is a much more dangerous territory. For a type 2 procrastinator, your work is not just work. It is a reflection of your soul. You have tied your entire self-worth to the quality of your output. In your mind, if the project is not perfect, then you are not perfect. If the work fails, then you are a failure. This creates a massive psychological conflict. Your conscious mind wants to succeed, but your subconscious mind sees the act of starting as a gamble where the stakes are your entire identity. This is where the biology of fear takes over. Deep inside your brain lies a small almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. Its only job is to keep you alive. For thousands of years, it scanned the horizon for saber-toothed tigers and warring tribes. Today, it scans your to-do list. When you look at a project that feels too important, your amygdala does not see a career opportunity. It sees a threat. It triggers what scientists call an amygdala hijack. In an instant, your brain floods your system with cortisol, the stress hormone. Your heart rate increases, your breathing becomes shallow, and your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for logic planning and creative thinking, essentially shuts down. You are literally in a state of fight, flight, or freeze, and because you cannot fight a blank page and you cannot run away from your own ambition, you freeze. You procrastinate as a form of emotional regulation. You check your emails, you clean your room, or you scroll social media. Because those low-stakes tasks provide a temporary relief from the crushing anxiety of your own expectations. You are not avoiding the work. You are avoiding the feeling of being inadequate. I have spent years studying this pattern, and I have seen it in the highest achievers in the world. But the truth is more nuanced. They understand a concept that we will call Type 3, the active procrastinator. Did you know that Leonardo da Vinci took 16 years to finish the Mona Lisa? Or that Martin Luther King Jr. was still rewriting his most famous speech just minutes before he stepped onto the podium? For a genius, procrastination is not always a bug. Sometimes it is a feature. This is called the incubation period. When a high-potential brain is avoiding a task, it is often working on it in the background. Your subconscious is connecting dots, playing with metaphors, and waiting for the right creative spark. The problem arises when we do not know the difference between healthy incubation and paralyzing fear. Think back to our metaphor of the high-performance car. Your intelligence is the V12 engine. Your perfectionism is the high-tech braking system. A car with no brakes is a disaster, but a car where the brakes are permanently locked is just a heavy piece of metal sitting in a garage. Most geniuses spend their whole lives trying to fix the engine, reading more books, getting more degrees, trying to be more brilliant. But the engine was never the problem. The problem is the brake line. You are so afraid of making a mistake that you have paralyzed your own momentum. You are waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect idea, and the perfect set of circumstances. But in the world of psychology, perfection is just a shiny word for cowardice. It is a shield we hold up to protect ourselves from being judged. We tell ourselves, I could have been great if I had just started, because that thought is less painful than I tried my best and it was only okay. This is the ultimate trap of the gifted mind. We would rather be a potential genius who never tried than an average person who gave it their all. So, how do we solve this case? How do we unlock the wheels of your high-performance mind and actually get you moving toward the greatness you know you are capable of? The answer requires a radical reframe of your entire identity. You have spent your whole life being praised for being smart, for being talented, and for being a natural. This praise has turned into a prison. It has made you believe that if you produce something mediocre, you lose your title as a genius. But the truth is, every masterpiece you have ever admired started as a messy, embarrassing, and deeply imperfect first draft. The first step to breaking the cycle is to lower the stakes. You need to give yourself permission to be average. In the world of psychology, we call this the strategy of the messy start. If you cannot write a perfect first chapter, write a terrible one. If you cannot build a perfect business plan, sketch a chaotic one on a napkin. By deliberately aiming for imperfection, you bypass the amygdala hijack. When the stakes are low, the amygdala does not see a threat, the cortisol levels stay down, and your creative brain stays online. You are essentially tricking your brain into thinking the task is not important enough to be scary. This is how the most successful creators in history operate. They do not wait for the muse. They show up and do the work badly until it starts to get good. But here is the most important part of our investigation, the ultimate twist. Your procrastination is not a sign that you are broken. It is a sign that you have exceptionally high standards. It is a sign that you possess a vision so grand that your current skills are struggling to keep up. This is a good thing. Your taste is ahead of your ability. That gap between where you are and where you want to be is where all growth happens. If you did not feel a little bit of fear, it would mean your goals are not big enough. So the next time you feel that familiar urge to check your phone or clean your desk, instead of starting your work, stop and recognize it for what it is. It is your genius trying to protect itself. Thank your brain for the warning and then do it anyway. Do it poorly, do it messily, just do it. Ask yourself this one question. If you died tomorrow, would you rather be remembered for the perfect things you never did or the imperfect things you actually finished? The world does not need more potential. The world needs your voice, your art, and your ideas, even if they are not flawless yet. Do not let your potential stay locked in the mud. You have the engine. You have the vision. Now it is time to let go of the brakes. If you found this investigation helpful, you need to be here for our next session. In the next video, I am going to reveal a dark psychology technique. Subscribe and turn on notifications now, because the next step in your evolution is coming sooner than you think. I will see you in the next case.